let's talk about ring culture. If it's one thing that I really dislike about the NBA and the way it's been covered, especially as of late, it is ring culture. In my opinion, rings make sense in some cases, but we cannot be thinking that linear and just attribute everything to rings. How many rings you got? All right, what's your finals records? All right, this is how we're going to rank you all time. And one of the all-time greats who never won a championship in Charles Barkley actually gave a pretty interesting take on ring culture. Some people will say that Charles Barkley is obviously only saying this because he was never able to capture a championship. But I am one of the guys who like to focus on the message and not the messenger. And I believe that Charles Barkley is 100% right here. So take a listen to what he had to say. But before I get into the article that I got from basketballnetwork.net, shout out to these guys, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So anyways, I quote, and this is Charles Barkley. I am not sure how we got to the point where it became an individual thing instead of a team thing. Unfortunately, a couple of people on television started this probably, and it actually has been to the detriment of the league. Nobody told Michael Jordan after 4 or 5 years, you've got to get out of here. You're not going to win a championship. So things started going crazy with LeBron, and he started listening to all the rumors about you got to win to be successful. And then he went to Miami, and then it happened next with KD, so it started somewhere back. And I end the quote right there. So it's allowed to unpack. So first of all, again, I think Charles Barkley is 100% right. I wasn't around when the narratives about Michael Jordan being ringless were out there. But just from what I remember on The Last Dance, people were saying, yeah, Michael Jordan is overhyped. He's pretty much a stat pattern on a bad team, but he's not a winner. But the narrative was never Michael Jordan needs to get out of Chicago to go get a ring. I don't think it was that. And this actually changed, just like Charles Barkley said, once LeBron James actually made it to the league. And a lot of it is self-inflicted, right? With the chosen one on his back, him picking Michael Jordan's number and pretty much targeting Michael Jordan's status. And you could see instantly that divide in the media with a lot of people either taking the LeBron side, I'm tired of hearing the Michael Jordan narrative, so we're going to root for LeBron James to actually become the GOAT. And the super defenders of Michael Jordan who try to shoot down LeBron James, who was already performing at all-time great levels. But the only thing that they could say is he doesn't have a championship, so he's not a winner, so he cannot compare to Michael Jordan. And just like Charles Barkley said, man, LeBron probably heard the chatter, and he was like, man, there's no way. I'm clearly one of the top elite best players this game has ever seen, and I'm going to go down as a loser because I'm on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and my GM is not able to assemble a team that gives me a fair shot at winning. So I'm going to take my destiny in my own hands. I'm going to wait for my contract to end, and then I'm going to go to Miami and get me my squad. This is pretty much the line of thinking that LeBron James had. And then it trickled down into player empowerment and player movement and everything. And from the root of it all, I thought it was cool that the players would go out there and take matters into their own hands and not leave everything in the end of the GMs. But it got out of control, in my opinion, with KD. But that was still not as bad as what we have today, because now these players don't even want to honor their contracts. They go out there, they sign these 4 to 5 years, 200 mil or whatever, and then after 1 year, they'll be like, oh, hell no, man, I can't win with this team, so let me sit out or let me force my way out. I don't like that at all. And all of this, in my opinion, comes from ring culture. So that's one of the first reasons why I hate ring culture, if many. Now, before I go deeper into why I dislike ring culture, I would just like to say that ring culture makes sense in 2 instances only, in my opinion. When you want to rank the top of the players, like, for example, the Michael Jordans and the LeBron James of the world, obviously you shouldn't compare them to guys who never won a ring. For example, I love Tracy McGrady. The man was amazing. But 0 championships in your whole career, I cannot put you in these type of conversations. You need to at least get 1 championship to open up the door. So I think it would make sense in that sense. If we go back to, for example, the GOAT conversation, ring culture would also makes sense in my opinion when there's like a big discrepancy between the number of rings on the two sides that you are arguing. For example, when LeBron only had 3 rings and he came out and said, I'm the GOAT, compared to Michael Jordan who had 6, it kind of didn't really make sense. Now that he has 4, that's still not as much as 6, but at least Michael Jordan doesn't have double your rings and you over there talking about, oh yeah, I'm the GOAT. Now you have 4 rings, so that's closer. Then we can look at all of the accolades, the stats, the longevity and everything and kind of make a case for you. But before that, it was too early. Same for the LeBron versus Kobe. I wasn't ready to put LeBron above Kobe when he was 5'3", but now that he's 5'4", I'm able to step back and be like, okay, so Kobe got 5 rings, LeBron got 4 only, so I advantage Kobe in that. But I like LeBron James' longevity over Kobe's. I like the 4 MVPs over 1 MVP. I like all of the stats, the fact that he's all-time leading scorer, and I can keep going, right? So I can make that case. So in that sense, kind of ring culture kind of makes sense just for these arguments. But other than that, man, I think it's all bad, man, because people have such a linear way of thinking about ring, and that makes no sense. Like, if you argue with some people out there, some people will be like, yeah, Klay Thompson has 4 rings, so therefore he's better than James Harden. Like, that makes no sense. Like, you can say that Klay Thompson is a superior shooter or a superior, I don't know, system player or whatever. But to say that James Harden is not better than Klay Thompson because Klay Thompson has 4 rings is lunacy. You have to take context into some of these equations, in my opinion. I don't like that for that reason. I also don't like the fact that now, because of ring culture, a lot of great careers, great bodies of work for 20 plus years sometimes get only summarized by, yeah, this guy has 6 rings, so that's it. That's all we're going to remember. Or this guy has 2 rings, that's all we're going to remember. Or this guy was never able to capture a ring, so we're never going to talk about him again. Like, that's crazy to me. For example, if you have Michael Jordan as your GOAT, the argument can't just be, yeah, six final appearances, 6 championships. It can't be just that. If you have Michael Jordan as the GOAT, it should matter to you that he came out as a rookie, was dropping 28 points. That when he was like 23, he was dominating the Big 3 Celtics with Larry Bird, McKellen now, dropping 63, although he lost. That should matter. It shouldn't matter that he pretty much built a culture for a franchise that was heading downhill and stayed there, shifted everything, left it on top. That should matter. It can't just be, yeah, Michael Jordan, 6 championships, so yeah, 6 championships, 6 finals, MVPs, just the GOAT, and that's it. No, the fact that he had 10 scoring titles and everything should, and I can keep going with all of the accolades. What also I hate and makes 0 sense to me is that with ring culture, people started pretty much lumping in finals records with ring culture, and some people will be like, oh yeah, so LeBron James, he's 4-6, therefore he's a loser. And Kobe Bryant, for example, is 5-2, if I'm not mistaken. And this is not against Kobe. It's just because I know Kobe's finals records. Y'all don't come at me with no bullshit. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying. And so people will be like, yeah, Kobe 5-2 in the finals, LeBron 4-6, so therefore Kobe's a winner and LeBron is a loser. That makes no sense. Kobe was out there for 20 years. He got 5 championships, so he lost 15 times. And LeBron James was out there for 20 years also, got 4 championships, lost 16 times. Advantage Kobe, but how is one a winner and the other one a loser in that scenario? That makes no sense to me. Like, we can't just think this way. Another thing that I really hate about ring culture is that it can only be one winner, y'all. One winner per year. If we look at since the 2000s, the number of guys who've actually won the championship as the undisputed number 1, you'll see that that list is very short. Since the 2000, again, we're talking about LeBron, we're talking about Kobe, we're talking about Steph Curry, we talk about Shaq, we talk about Dirk, we talk about Dwayne Wade, we talk about Kawhi, we talk about Giannis, and we talk about Jokic. That's it. No KD, for example, because I said as the undisputed number 1 on that team. In my opinion, he was. But if you go out there and you talk to people, I feel like now the consensus is that it was always Steph Curry show. You know? So even a guy like KD can't even make that cut. We also leave guys like Chris Paul, like James Harden, like Hell, Joel Embiid, like Russell Westbrook, and I can keep going. Carmelo Anthony, Charles Barkley, Tracy McGrady, who else? Vince Carter. Elite players, y'all, that we like to completely diminish because they weren't able to be that one guy that 1 year. Also, ring culture, man, like everything has to go right for you to win a championship. Like anyone that played any kind of sports, and you don't have to be super high level for this. You can just be like, yeah, I used to play on the Saturdays or whatever. You know that you can be the best player on the court and still lose in a team game. That happens, y'all. And again, like the situation has to be right for you to win the championship. For example, if you take the ultimate winner, according to what everyone is saying in Michael Jordan, when the last time he lost to the bad boy Pistons, you could clearly see that he was already on that level, good enough for him to win. The Bulls were about to do it, and then in Game 7, what happened? Scottie Pippen, I don't remember if he got injured or if he got sick, but he goes out there, puts up like 4 points, and they lose just because he didn't have the help that he needed that game to get it done and get over the hump. Should we blame Michael Jordan for this? In my opinion, no. He lost. But is it his fault? No. And the thing that's very ironic about this is no one really blamed Michael Jordan for this, but let it be another guy, like a LeBron James, for example. Oh, a lot of people would have came out and be like, yeah, you see, he ain't that guy, man. The others would have done. No, like, stop it. Your situation just matters so much. Like, for example, you look at Nikola Jokic, who just won the championship. The narrative about Nikola Jokic going into the previous season was, yeah, the man is just a stat pattern. He's not a winner. He can't do it. And what happened? He got his two best players back from injuries, won the championship instantly. And now all of that chatter is gone. Now you even got people who want to have conversation about Nikola Jokic being a top 5 center already. Just like that. Just because his teammates got back. That makes no sense. This is ring culture for you. Another example, then we can get out of here because the video is pretty lengthy. You look at a guy like, for example, Giannis. Couldn't get it done because the team wasn't good enough. He got Ru Holiday, which is a nice piece, but it's not like a guy that shouldn't move the needle that much, right? Got Ru Holiday. What happened? Literally the same year on the championship. Your situation matters. So we can't just pretty much summarize everything with just, how many championships you got when we know all of the stuff that goes into actually competing for a championship and getting it done at the highest level out there on earth. So anyways, these are my takes. If you made it this far, because man, I've been talking about this, but y'all can see I really don't fuck with that culture. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, let's talk about this ring culture thing in the comment section. If you agree with me, that's fine. If you don't, that's even better actually. Let's talk about it, man. Appreciate you guys for checking me out, and I'll see you guys later on another episode. Peace.